Welcome back to another episode of STL Real Estate Roundtable. I'm your host, Jaden Barr, CEO and team leader of Keller Williams Realty Chesterfield. And today I'm joined by a very special guest. Alex King. Alex, thanks for joining.
Thank you, man.
Let's have some fun. All right. So I start every episode the same way, which is what got you started in a career in real estate?
So I started kind of my 20s in restaurants. And worked my way up since I was 17 in restaurants. And then worked for a group here that owns breakfast, lunch, and a fine dining restaurant. I joined their fine dining restaurant. Worked my way up from busboy to general manager over 4 or 5 years, and then kind of was in a lull on what to do next. And I actually had, I tell everyone the story, I had a head chef come to me and say, "What do you want to do with your future?" And I said, "I don't know." He goes, "Well, you're at that point of your life to where you can either take the next best little thing and go up the ladder, or you can take a step back and figure out what you want and do something that you want to do." Mm-hmm. Basically telling me you don't want to be a 50-year-old general manager of a restaurant your whole life. And I got out of that. I jumped into sales because my dad has a sales business, thinking family business, it'd be fun. After 2.5 years, I realized that was not my business. And my buddy told me to join real estate. And I kind of just was like, let's do this. Let's jump in. So I actually had an interview with a team at Keller Williams in Kirkwood when they were over there before even my license. And I walked in and I was like, I want to be on this team. I did my research on you guys. You're the best here. I want to work for the best. And I got hired before even I took my license and got my test passed. So I made sure the steps were already in place for me so when I can pass and hit the ground running, I could do that. And that's kind of what got me into it. He was in it for a couple of years, so he told me how cool it was and fun. And I kind of was just like, sure, let's try it out. It's not going to hurt anything. So
awesome.
I jumped in. So
when was this?
This was 18, I'm sorry.
2018?
Yeah,
okay.
2018.
Gotcha. And then that sounds like a really impactful conversation from the restaurant side of things. Like that's like a pivotal moment in life.
It took, like I said, it took 10 years of my life, and I learned that business like the back of my hand. I was a 25-year-old general manager of a fine dining restaurant called the Tavern Kitchen and Bar down the street, and no one thought I was 25, right? Like, because why would you be 25 running a restaurant? Yeah. But I made sure every single thing in that place I did at least once. Yeah. I cooked, I food ran, I bartended, I bussed tables, I did dishes, I served, I assistant managed. So, like, when I ran that restaurant, I was running it, right? Like, that was how I impact my business now, too, is I wanted to learn everything before I did the main thing. So
that's a great lesson in leadership right there.
Learn how it runs before you run it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we would have a new manager come in when I was assistant manager, and they never worked there, and after a year, they were gone. Why? Because they didn't know everything. Yeah. And to me, it's, you don't have to learn everything, but it definitely helps. Knowing how hard it was for a busser on his first week to bus tables and how crazy it was, and just look at him and be like, it's okay, get through it.
Have some empathy.
Going to wash dishes because the dishwasher didn't show up on a Sunday night and you're slow and you're the general manager and you're going to wash dishes all night because you can't find someone to do it. So, like, learning that part of it, and then realizing when you are in front of people, the salesperson, the server, you could sell anything.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
That was kind of like that whole pivot of me learning business at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. So what lessons did you take from that role that now apply to your real estate
couple
business?
Big things were learning people, interacting with people, how to engage with them, learn when to back off, learn when to go forward, learning facial expressions. I mean, just learning people was the biggest. I had a guy I was training once and went over specials, and it was, like a $95 steak, right? Like, it's a special for the evening. And told this table, and both the guys put their menus down, looked at me and go, "We'll have that." We didn't even look at the menu. And he was like, "Holy crap, how'd you do that?" And I go, you have to sell the product and be passionate enough about it to sell it. which now I take into real estate. Like, I'm not there to sell you the house. I'm selling you the experience of the knowledge I have to show you either what the house could look like, what it could be for you, or if it's not for you, something, this isn't the house for you, right? Yeah. The house will sell itself when you walk in. So in restaurants, it was learning the ways of how to do that and like reading people's expressions. The second other story I ever tell people is there was one night I was watching this guy and someone said, hey, I don't think he's happy with his food. Everyone just got their dinner. So I went up and go, how is everyone's food? And he goes, it's okay. And I looked straight at him and I go, what's wrong with your dinner? He's like, nothing. And I go, sir, your dinner would not be okay if it was okay, right? Like, it's okay when it's not great. What's wrong with your dinner? It's not what I wanted. It's not what I thought. I said, well, I have something that you probably would like. Let me go get it. Take me 10 minutes. Be right back. Got him his food, brought it back. They were almost done, but he ate it. He ate the whole thing. And he came back and he said, I came back and he said, I wasn't going to leave here telling anyone about this restaurant because of a meal I wasn't really happy with. Now I'm going to leave this restaurant and tell everyone how awesome that meal was. And that was just like a defining moment on like, you know what you're doing, right? Like, people need to feel like you're not just there selling them a product, but your experience. And that was huge for me as a 24-year-old kid who was running a restaurant. Like, I was like, yeah, that's super cool. So now I take that into all my business, right? Like, have them trust you enough. And you need to learn subtle cues on what people think, right?
Yeah.
So
we just got back from conference down in Atlanta, and we got the opportunity to hear from Will Guidara. He's the author of Unreasonable Hospitality. So he ran the #1 restaurant in the world. So this is like where my brain's tracking right now, right? And so he was speaking about all the different experiences of hospitality that they tried to create and curate within the client experience, right? All the different touch points.
It's not just food, it's everything.
Right, all the touch points, right? From the time that they walk up to the greeting table to the time that they get their bill. Like, how can you make every touch point more awesome is what he said, right?
Well, that's the whole thing. We had people come in, celebrities in St. Louis, right? Sports, news. And I remember Tarasenko came in one night and my table, who I've seen almost every month, and loved them. They knew me by name. I knew them by name, knew their drinks. They said, oh, did you see Tarasenko's here? I go, yeah. You're going to go say hi? I go, no. They go, why? And I go, he's just another patron. He comes in maybe once a year. Yeah. You've been here every other month, every month for the past 9 months. I'm here talking with you guys. So he can enjoy his meal in peace. Yeah. You're my people, right? So giving them that experience of, oh my gosh, I can feel like royalty out without, feeling like, most people don't get that. And that's what I tried to show people in the restaurant business. And that's what I try and show people now. Like, I'm going to be a straight shooter. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. And some people don't like that, but other people that are like, okay, he's not just trying to sell us something.
Yeah. Builds more trust, right?
Yeah. But restaurants were fun.
Yeah. There were 2 stories that he shared during his keynote. He talked about one instance where it was this group from Europe, and they were traveling to New York, and they were trying all of the top restaurants. Like, their whole trip was around food. Right?
That's every trip I take is around food.
Yeah.
So that's the whole reason I travel.
So this was the last night of their trip, and he overheard them while he was doing something that was outside of his wheelhouse, right? Yeah. He's the manager of the restaurant. He's not the person bussing tables and washing dishes, but he was that night he stepped in and was doing those things, and he overheard, just because he was present in the moment, and he overheard them saying how they went their whole time in New York without having a New York hot dog, a street dog, right? And so what did he do? He immediately went and he got it, and he convinced his chef to plate it, and then he let them know, and they were like raving fans right after that, just because of the level of intentionality that he had with that. And then the other story that he shared was he asked a question to the audience the day he was speaking, and he said, who's had an engagement in a restaurant? Like, who's been engaged or proposed to in a restaurant? This guy raised his hand, and he asked him, did the restaurant, give you a bottle of wine, sparkling champagne, like anything to celebrate that moment? And he said no. And he goes, oh, crap. Well, I was expecting you to say yes, because that's what a normal restaurant would do. He finishes he kind of moves on with his point that he was making. And then he gets done, he exits the stage. A couple of minutes later, he comes running back on stage, kind of in the middle of the next presentation, with a bottle of champagne, and he gives it to that person and says, it's never too late to celebrate or something like that. And I'm like,
those little things. Those little things. I did a couple. I did a couple of those in the restaurant, and my good friend at the time was proposing. We did the whole thing. I had the whole thing planned out, where to sit, where to take pictures. Yeah. So it's just those little subtle things. And working restaurants, I think everyone should, to be honest, work in a restaurant for 2 years. They need to feel what it's like. So when you go out and about, you treat everyone in the restaurant with respect. And most people don't. But just learning people skills. Yeah. The shy people can be shy, but they will learn to build the people skills too. And so that's when I joined the team at Keller Williams my first year. He's like, I worked in restaurants too. Because your life is almost like same as mine as I was. So he the team leader was like, awesome. Worked out perfect. So
that's awesome. So what's the we definitely went on a tangent there, but that applies to so much of what we do now, right?
It does.
With creating experiences to, having those people skills.
Even just talking agent to agent.
Yeah.
Just the people skills on that. We'll get into that in a minute, but just everything builds off of.
Absolutely. So take me kind of the next step of the career, like what's happened since, you joined that team?
So I've bounced around, to be honest, a little bit. I was in Keller Williams for 2.5 years. I was a buyer's agent on the Yell and Break team. So learned a lot. I did like 72 transactions in 2.5 years, right? It's a numbers game. Here's what you need to do, Keller Williams. Here's what you should do. Here's how you need to do it. We're going to give you everything and just show you the steps. And that really taught me, like, okay.
Treat it like a business.
Treat it like a business, right? I got to learn the business.
Yeah.
And I got to a point of I'm wanting to do listing side. And I was like, I literally told my team leader, I was like, I can't be a you working for you. I want to do more. I want to be the next level. How do I get to the next level? Yeah. Kind of like restaurants. Don't be the GM without learning everything else beyond it. So I left there and went to another brokerage who now has opened where I am now. They were the Palmer House back then. And then they were just like, yeah, you're good, do what you want. And learn how you need to. And unfortunately stayed there for only a couple months and went to another place and didn't work out after a year. Yeah. Left there after a year and decided I'm just going to stop with the big brokers and go to a small boutique brokerage. And he showed me a section that I still hold to this day. Like, we're never too busy to do it ourselves. He's like, I'd run $10 to $15 million a year in real estate, and I've been doing it myself, no TC. So what I learned about you need all these different key components, to me at the end of the day was you have enough time to touch everything. Yeah. And I wanted to make sure I was on top of everything. So going from a big brokerage where there was someone doing other things for me.
Leverage everywhere, right?
It was nerve-wracking because I'm not the one doing it.
Yeah.
And he taught me you have time to do it, an hour a day. If you have 10 transactions right now, it's 10 hours, right? Like that's not a bad work week, but you need to be on top of where everything is so you understand where the ball was dropped if it was. So huge in my business, going from big broker to having these placements and transaction coordinators, and you need a buyer's agent to show you homes, and you need to have all this, to a place where he's like, we're never too busy enough to do ourselves. Kind of brought me back down, right? I started taking that little next step and didn't realize that maybe I should back off for a second, realize what I'm doing, and then jump up. And I think within those 2 years to these 2 years, I've had my best year ever last year. And it's going up. So I can do it, right? Yeah. I don't need to pay someone to do it. I'm the business. So it's been fun.
That's awesome. So sounds like you've experienced a lot of growth over the past,
the past 5 years have been, the first 3 were growth, just learning the business, and the next 5 was learning how I want to operate.
Yep. That's kind of the beautiful thing about running a real estate business is you can literally run it however you want, right? It's like,
unless you work for someone. Yeah. And I'm no longer wanting to work for anyone, right? Yeah. I didn't want someone to tell me how much I should charge, how much extra I should charge. how many hours I need to call, how many phone calls I need to make.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let me do my thing.
Yeah.
Right? And I run my business like I was running the restaurant. Like, boss, everything's perfect, everything's fine, everyone's happy, numbers are right.
Mm-hmm.
Great. I need a broker to do the same.
Mm-hmm.
How much money does it cost me to work for you? Do you have any things that I need to do? No? Cool. Then run your business, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
That was my thing.
Yeah.
Every broker I went to, I went in and asked them numbers. What does it cost to do business? Give me all your fluff afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't need the fluff.
Right.
I had fluff, right?
Yeah.
The business is me,
Mm-hmm.
not you, right? The broker. It's not you, the business. It's
Yeah.
me selling homes, me getting people in front of homes and other properties. So
Yeah. Yeah. I always say that as a leader of a brokerage, like it's very rarely about the brokerage. It's about the agent doing the work. Right.
I mean, the brokerage doesn't sell me a home. I sell me a home.
Right.
There's
right.
the name. Having a name is important.
Clients could probably care less what color your signs are. Right.
I've had someone, they just bought a house 5 years. They've been through 4 brokerages with me.
Mm-hmm.
They could care less where I work.
Right. Right.
They care where I am helping them.
Yeah. And every brokerage offers something different. So it's up to the business owner to decide what's best
what they
for them.
want. Yeah. And then I've learned to, I've learned the game of getting leads. I've learned the game of how I want to run my business and tracking well, right? My wife says it's all because of her, but the past 5 years has been going up, which is what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, it's been
That's great.
fun so far.
That's great. So what have been some of the challenges associated with the growth in the business? Like what have you had to become more efficient in or develop?
I started off with, like I do Zillow leads, learning that I needed a little bit of backer money-wise to go out on my own. It's the scariest going out on your own when you're like, oh, I don't have someone doing things for me, to where, okay, it's going to cost me a little bit of money. Cost me money to make money, right? So the first year it cost me money. Didn't make a lot compared to, it was a little bit more, and then played the game, and now I'm making more. But the fact of like, okay, if I put my head down and work, if I do this the right way and play the game with leads and get the right areas and locations and social media and start getting people to refer me, it'll start to build. And so the first 3 years was that, and now the last 5 years was doing more the next year.
Mm-hmm.
So I've tell people now that I play the game well, and for what I do with work, I'm getting better. I'm not putting 110% into work. So I got my son every day. So being a kind of a dad and working part-time, I have a part-time job that's trending very well.
Yeah.
As my wife calls it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's awesome. So you mentioned you have your son every day. Like talk to me about kind of the role of being a parent, a husband, it's business owner.
My daughter, during the summer when my wife worked, she was with me. So she'd come with me to showings. She was 4, 5, 6. So now that my son, he's just turned 2, it was cool. He's coming with me. I got work. Like after the first 6, 7 months, I had him. And I don't know if it helped with people, but hey, I'm bringing a baby. They're like, I love babies, right? Like, so it's like, okay, cool. Like I'm a working dad with my son every day, but like also showing the fact that I am a dad. I can't go show you a house right now. Or, hey, you just called me an hour ago. I can't go do it. I have a family. And that change has been something where focus on me and my career to now like, okay, like you can still show face. And people respect that. Most people do.
Yeah.
That
if they don't, then they're probably not your people.
If they don't, then if they don't want to work with me, that's fine, right? Like I'm the people that go, I understand. You have a sick kid. I can't go see it today. Can we go see it tomorrow? Let me see what I can do, right? Trying to get that, but the people that want to work with me understand it. I'm a dad first. So, and I'll put their needs in front of everything else. And I've built my business enough to where I'm like, cool, I can watch my kid every single day of the week and not have to pay a babysitter and learn and grow with him while I build my business at nights and weekends. So
I love to hear that. Yeah, I think that's probably a great piece of advice for a lot of agents out there, especially like top agents that are producing at a high level. I think we make ourselves so available And because we want to serve, right? Yeah. We want to serve at a high level, but it comes to the detriment of our families,
it does.
My
wife doesn't like that I'm on my phone a bunch, or I have to take a call, or we're out and about, or there's a kid thing. And I've learned the past couple years now with my son being born too, like the call can wait.
Yeah.
Text him, you'll call him in an hour. You don't have to answer it when you're out at family dinner or doing the family thing.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I got a couple hours off, but then I get a call that someone wants to see a house. Can you move it to later? No? Then I'm sorry, I can't do it for you. So flip-flopping that.
Yeah. Just setting healthy boundaries.
Boundaries.
Right?
I had one agent that worked with me on my first brokerage at Keller Williams, and she goes, your time is more important than theirs. Don't give them your whole time. Don't give them all your time, right? So learning that on what it meant, I was rushing everywhere for showings, and I was doing all the showings as much as I could. And then I realized, okay, I don't need 50 showings a week. I need the right 10 showings a week.
Yeah.
I don't need quantity. I need quality. And that showed the past couple of years where I was showing $110,000 houses where my leads were, and now I'm showing 4 to 7 on average, right? So, like, the quality is better. So.
And I think, we kind of touched on it earlier. Like, whenever you talk clients out of seeing properties that don't match what they conveyed in their buyer consult or homes that don't fit what they're looking for, like, that level of trust just escalates with that.
I had a client who, after a couple months, was like, do you think I should see this home? And that's what I want to hear. What do you think? It's not the right home. And my whole conversation when I first meeting with someone, I talk way too much, giving them way too much information. But I tell them up front, like, my job is to tell you everything wrong with the house when we go see it. If you still love it, let's go for it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sugarcoat this, and I'm not going to car salesman you this on the shiny rims. I'm going to go tell you about all the things wrong, so going into it, you still love the house. And within 2 minutes, I tell people, you'll know if you love the house within 2 minutes. You can see them planning their furniture. And I love that. I love when they find the right one, and then they were there for an hour, not 30 minutes. They ask questions. Oh, can we do this? What do you think about over here? And my whole job now is I tell people either what the house could look like. All it takes is money and an eye, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you got that piece. It can go over here. This wall can come out. You can put a big window in there. Like, getting them to see their future in it than just to sell them the home right then. I talk more people out of houses than I do selling the houses.
Yeah. But the house sells itself, right?
The house will sell.
Yeah.
The house will sell themselves. I'm there to make sure they know everything up front and then feel comfortable with moving forward. So.
Yeah. I always tell people, whenever clients are talking about like what they could change and what needs fixed and things like that, I always say any problem can be solved with a positive attitude and more money. Right?
Yep. Everything can be solved as long as you pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can take that wall out.
Yeah.
It takes money. You can update the bathroom. It takes money.
Yeah.
But getting them to trust you enough is huge. Like, I want my clients, when they sign an agency agreement with me and they're moving forward with me, that they trust me to ask me those hard questions. Hey, you're looking at a 2-story. You said you wanted a ranch. We're not going to look at it. You told me why. We're not going to change.
Yeah.
Alex, what do you think? Is this what we see in pictures? I go, no, you didn't see this in the picture. So, like, for them to trust me enough to tell them, kind of like in the restaurant business.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Trust me enough to get you that experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah.
So you made a comment earlier of agent-to-agent relationship. Talk to me about that.
And the importance of it's fun now being in it. This is my 8th year, so like having the agents that I've done business with that see that I'm calling again or asking them about a house that's theirs, to where I love when I am able to connect with someone. They're like, hey, Alex, how you been? We did a deal last year. You were going to write this year? And, those type of things are what I want. I want someone to see my name and number and go, he's a person I want to work with. And I've had a couple experiences to where, like, I called someone a week ago. I was going to put an offer in on a house. 35 offers, which we're back to that again on some homes, right? And she goes, I said straight up to her, are we even competitive at this price? She goes, no, you're not. But Alex, I'll tell you right now, you're the first person to call me, and I have 35 offers on my email. You're the first person to call me, so thank you. Even though you're probably not going to win. And I said, no, I'd rather do this than waste 2 hours trying to rush home to get it done. But I was like, but hearing that was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Every single house that my clients are interested in, I'm trying to make face. I'm trying to show face.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm Alex. Here's some questions I have.
Yeah.
And more or less than not, like, it's crazy that agents either don't do that or they don't even just want to call to say hi.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to put an offer in. I'll text you in a little while. Mm-hmm. Cool. Thank you. I've had every year I have someone go, you're the only one to call me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? You have 10 offers. Yeah. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have agents that, when they see me calling, like, we love doing business with you. I love hearing that. Like, they we're already a step up.
Right.
And or when I'm going to a house with someone, I go, I know this agent.
Yeah.
Personally, I know them. I've done deals with them or I've worked with them. Let me call them. Yeah. And then just making that. So having that moving forward is great. Yeah. Don't try and make a bad name for myself. And maybe some agents think that I wasn't awesome to work with, but I'm trying to push for my client, right? To where you're always trying to fight for your client. But the good ones are always like, hey, good job.
Yeah.
You know? It was rough getting here, but we're
here. We did it.
We did it, right?
So. Yeah. Yeah, we just closed a deal together recently,
yeah,
right?
We did.
So that was smooth, and yeah, that was.
I just want to make it that way, right? Like,
yeah.
We're both here to do the same thing, but we're both also working for a client.
Yeah.
I'm not just trying to get to the closing table to make some money with you, but I also want to make sure our clients call us back.
Yeah. Taking the ego out of the picture, right?
You know,
more deals are probably killed from agents' ego than actually
in this business.
Clients,
it is.
right?
It's more ego driven than anything. And I'm not here to make a friend of you. I just want you to be like, thanks for the great smooth transaction, Alex. I'd love to do a business deal with you again. Love hearing that. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite. Yeah. Even if I mutual release, I love when an agent says that. Mm-hmm. Hey, sorry it didn't work out, but let's do another.
See you
one.
on the next one. Yeah,
those are always my favorite.
Absolutely. So what do you think, like what's the next step for your business? What are you currently working on to kind of elevate?
So like the past couple years has just been growth. I wanted to hit a number, not in sales, but not in transaction, but sales. Mm-hmm. If I can hit a steady between numbers and sale volume, doesn't matter if it takes me 50 closings or 15. If I can do that for a couple years, then I know that I've plateaued to a comfortable life where I can be a part of my family and not have to rush. So it's all back to the family thing, right? Mm-hmm. Like, since my son was born, I wanted to make sure I could get there. And if I can get there with my wife that says it's part-time, I can do more if I put more time and effort into it, but I'm not getting these years back. Everyone's like, cherish the first 5 years. Most people put their kids in daycare, which is all understandable. Mm-hmm. I have the opportunity to be there, so I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
So if I can get to that business level and do this, I'm happy.
Yeah.
For, the next couple years until everyone's in school and I got 6 hours to myself doing nothing, right?
Right.
So
right.
Then I'll worry about business then. But just being able to maintain that, knowing that I'm going up or better this year, who knows, right? So, but keeping the family life where it is.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Yeah, I think a lot of times agents chase goals that aren't their own, right? And so they're chasing, well, I did 24 deals last year, so I'm going to double my business and do 48. It's like, well, do you know the amount of work that's required to double your business? Yeah. And are you willing to do that? Do you want to do that?
Work, time, and effort.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
And a lot of times the answer is no, I don't. And so why would you? Sometimes growth looks like, fewer deals, fewer working hours, and how can you be more efficient with those hours to produce the same amount of income, right? And so it's like I said, like, you want to make sure that your goals are yours and not someone else's.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of social media stuff for other agents and their big podcasts just for the fact of, like, that's their thing. I'm happy for them. They're enjoying their life and doing it. Mm-hmm. I have a goal in my mind on what I need to do, and if I can have that hours with my family and I hunt so I can do my hobbies and hunting in the fall where I can take couple weekends off, like I'm happy. And I'm growing my business still, which shows that I can do this without having to sacrifice. And people with kids, I had someone just join. He asked me the first year, he goes, how do you do this with kids? I go, you figure it out. Put them first, though, right? The business will always be there. More or less people that have had kids or buying a house understand.
Yeah.
And if they don't understand, work for you.
Yeah.
So that's as long as I can do this, my growth right now is like stay here, do a little bit more probably, but I'm not going to get to now I need to work 60 hours to be able to provide when I'm losing the opportunity to watch ball games and, taking my kids to the park. And that's where it hurts the most.
Yeah. Who you are is who you attract too, right? Kind of like what you're talking about with like, if you got young kids and family's a priority, like you're probably going to attract people where they've got young kids and family's a priority, right?
Yeah.
And so that's when business is really fun and exciting, is whenever you're working with people that, are like-minded and, you're not trying to win them over because they get it.
They see it. They see you working like.
Plus, what a great opportunity. Like, use the soccer game or the t-ball game or the school play as a way to build connections, build relationships. Like everything in this business is about relationships.
Showing you're human
and so
not just a salesperson, right?
Yeah. Lead generation is not just cold calling or door knocking. Like it's
not
being
anymore.
In the community. Yeah. It's building relationships with groups and communities that you're already involved in. So like just become the realtor of choice in that group. And then then you're not working.
Well, when I first started, it was door knocking and calls. And then social media got big. And then it was show you're human and not just a salesperson. Stop asking for everything. So like my Facebook is 70%, 80% my life, and then 20% my business.
Right.
And it's when I see people and they're like, hey, I see you're doing really well this year. You're selling a lot. And I go, yeah. And they go, your family's beautiful. Like, that's cool. I'm human. They can relate, right? I'm not just like always on there trying to ask.
Yeah.
And then showing people when you're, hey, I can't Thursday because I have a play to be at. Can you do Friday? Sure. Like, they see it. I'm willing to help them still and be there for them, but not always there.
Yeah, absolutely. So what advice would you give to the agent that is watching this that maybe feels stuck with like where they're at, or stuck in their production level, or they are trying to balance, family and business? Like what would be the best piece of advice that you could give them?
For family people, definitely your time is more important to you than that one showing. Because that one showing turns into an hour or two, right? You do that every day. It's 2 hours a day you're gone. So your time is way more important. Your family time is way more important. There are sacrifices. I know, my wife knows, my family knows. Nights and weekends is when I show homes mostly. So there has to be a little give and take. But your time as an adult is way more important than that person who calls in on a Zillow lead or whatever lead
and wants
source
to see it 30 minutes
and wants to see it in an hour, right? And if they're not willing to help negotiate a time with you, they're not going to be a good client, and they don't see it. They're the door opener. They want a door opener. People in business that are just kind of stagnant or wanting to grow, definitely look at your own growth and what have you been doing. Are you relying too much on all of these other things to try and get you business when it really comes down to you? Everyone's doing AI now. I'm kind of hesitant because I don't want to lose the face, right? You go into a restaurant and it's a robot serving you, is really different from a server, right? Yeah. So look at what you're doing. Are they telling you to do all these things? Social media, AI, flyers. How many people are you actually meeting? How many face-to-face conversations? Because that is where you really sell yourself. Yeah. My first meeting someone is my sales pitch of me to work with me, right? Just like a listing appointment. So if you're stagnant, find where that is and try to reverse it, right? Because if you're relying too much on all the other stuff external and you're just not doing it yourself or meeting people in person, that could be why. But yeah, just, it's not, I would tell people, you don't have to be on the phone 24/7. You don't have to door knock 24/7. Just find your niche and run with that. If it's working, double up on that.
Yeah. Pour gas on the fire.
I realized that years ago with lead source. I realized how to play the game with my lead source. And now I'm in a great area, great location, getting great leads. And now I've quadrupled my business and the type of business, because I've worked the game, because I put all my chips in a basket on one, that I was doing really well. So,
yeah. And I mean, I'm sure you track that like ROI, and you're like, okay, this is working, clearly working.
Clearly,
like,
yeah. So that's
like let's test it, and then okay, it's working.
Find what's working and double up on that. Don't
yeah.
try to put too many things out. You know, the social media people that are doing well have put their feet down and said, we're doing this. And I know a couple agents who have blown up because of social media.
Yeah.
Others lead sources. Others with door knocking, you know,
cold
like
calling, expired.
But find the one that you're doing, track the numbers and where they're coming from, find where your business coming from, and double down on that. Because that will be the biggest. So.
Yeah. There was a line from one of the speakers at the conference. You know, you mentioned AI, and I think AI, it's like either agents are all in, or they're like, I'm not touching it at all, or they're just using it for like the bare minimum, like writing their listing descriptions, right? It does a lot more than that. And so I think it's ever evolving, right, with AI and how its use cases and things like that. But one of the speakers, he said that AI is going to replace the agents that are using AI to replace them, right? So you mentioned be human, right? Like the human aspect is what makes this business what it is, right? And so people have to see that you're human. Now, can you use AI to become more efficient, to enhance who you already are, to you know, get time back so that you can spend it on more important things? Absolutely. But if you're using it to replace you,
it's going to replace you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I completely get it. Like everyone right now is like, there's probably over 60-70% of my brokers that are like, we use it every single day. And I'm just like, I know those emails and calls when they're AI driven, and I know it's not a real person. Yeah. And I don't respond to all of them because I know that. Yeah. But the person who calls me, also another thing, people hate phone calls. Yeah. It's so weird. Especially under 40. Like they just don't want to call, they want to text. But they hear your voice, they hear your expressions, they hear that. And even if it's just a voicemail, that will go longer, farther with that connection than your AI drip. Hey, it's, you know, assistant, whatever. I'm calling you in touch of Alex. I don't want you to call me in touch. I want to do that. So it will replace some. The people I think that will benefit to help, it'll be on the back end. Where's my time spent on paperwork and emails and all this other stuff that'll help. I'm still at the part of it where the face-to-face, it's me selling me, then telling them I have some AI in the background to help with everything to make it smooth. Yeah, that is where I think business will go for me. So
absolutely. So looking at the business that you built, what are you most proud of?
That I reached the goal that I wanted. Like I said, I was more more sales than I was transactions. That pushed me to either work harder or not work as hard, because I had a number I wanted to hit. So I'm proud of myself. I didn't realize until this past year. I just actually looked it up. And like homes.com tells you the past 5 years in sales, like, oh man, it's growing. Yeah. We're getting there.
Kind of crushing it.
I'm doing what I set out to do, right? Yeah. I left certain places to do this on my own and to show myself I can do it. And showing myself that I can do it while still being a dad and present was like the biggest pat on the back for me. Like, okay, Alex, this is something where you're not sacrificing all your family time to try and make another sale, but you're doing it evenly enough to where you didn't even know that you worked that hard. In my mind, I was like, oh, that's awesome. Now, what if I added an extra 2 hours a week into work, right? What can I do next year? So like that's been the coolest thing. Like I'm not patting myself on the back being like, I sold this many houses, or internally it was me, like just in my progression and where I wanted to be. So
yeah, I mean,
that was fun.
There's always a challenge with entrepreneurship, and I think, you know, in this industry, it can feel like a hamster wheel at times of, you know, because you sell somebody a house, they're probably not purchasing again or selling again for several years, right? So it's like your business kind of starts over every year.
Yeah, every single year.
And so
brand new.
That challenge is, you know, you've got a goal, and you sprint as hard as you can. And then us as entrepreneurs, we're always looking 10 steps ahead to the next goal, right? And the goalpost always changes. And so you sprint and then you look up, you're like, did I hit the goal or not? Great. And then it's like a 30-second celebration, and then we're on to the next.
Well, it's always a month or two later, right? So
yeah.
we're celebrating the nows, and we're celebrating the futures if they succeed. You know, like we're 30, 45 days away from closing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I got a contract. Oh no, we have all of these obstacles to get through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the last year when I joined Elevate 2 years ago, back with the brokers again, and I was like, just let me do my thing, and I have a goal. They're like, what's your goal? I was like, don't worry about it. I have a goal. And this last year I told them what my goal was. So they're like, hey, you capped quickly. 3 months before the year before. Perfect. Didn't know that. They just told me. And I was like, so I must be doing something. Then at the end of the year, I started looking at my sales. And I was like, oh, cool. I'm actually right where I need to be and wanted to be. And I just put my head down. I focused on just working and not focused like at the end goal. If I was too far or too close, it was just put your head down and work. Yeah. And then see where you are in 6 months. See where you are in 6 months.
Yeah.
Know if it's working. So.
Yeah. And then, I mean, too, like thinking, I challenge everybody that I coach this is like, look up every once in a while and look how far you've come.
Just look up. You don't have to focus on it the whole time, but just be like, okay, I'm doing good.
Yeah. Compare yourself where you are today to where you were a year ago or 3 years ago or 5 years ago. And I guarantee you're going to be like,
huge difference.
Wow, I've actually come a long ways.
I've tripled my sales in 5 years, like within a 5 year time span of slowly getting up there. And now my wife's like, you're doing right what you wanted to do. I'm like, this is it. And I didn't even notice. Yeah. Last year I just worked. Didn't pop my head up to look at anything. I was just kind of like, let's do this, and family life and work. And then I just looked up and I was like, wow, I hit it. Yeah. So must be doing something, hopefully.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
In a way, but
absolutely. So I finish pretty much every episode this way, which is, what's the most impactful book or podcast that you've read or listened to? So I know we're in similar stages of life right now. I've got a 2-year-old and a 4-month-old. So if you say I give, what happens when you give a mouse a cookie, that's totally acceptable.
So I don't watch a lot of real estate podcasts, and I don't I don't dive into a lot of social media with real estate because that's their goals and their stuff, and just
shiny object syndrome.
Shiny object syndrome, right? So last year, I was watching and listening to these 2 podcasts, right? It was a comedy podcast and this other podcast. And my wife was like, you should really get into something that just helps you learn some more stuff than just jokes. Because I'm a smart aleck, and I think it's funny. And the other one, like, they're always angry. And I was like, you're right. So I started listening to the Sean Ryan Show and the Joe Rogan podcast. By just learning things that each person had. I didn't really watch the comics a bunch, and I didn't really watch the movie stars. I wanted to watch and listen to the physicists, the weird conspiracy theorists, the person who created this AI, like those type of things. And then I'll go to my wife and be like, oh my gosh, listen to what I listened to. And she goes, it's working. And I go, what do you mean? She goes, you're not all about, stupid comedy jokes and government talk. You're about learning about stuff. And that mind shift almost has helped, where some of them talk about family stuff and struggles, and then other ones, like Sean Ryan shows a lot about military stuff, but also like they have family stuff. They have a lot of them go through like certain religious things, and then the Joe Rogan podcasts are scientists and people learning about art, just a variety of people. So I'm like now in I shifted from one to another, and now I'm like invested into like those things. Yeah. To where it shifted my mindset on like more serious and like I want to be learning more. Yeah. So I don't know, but I don't watch. Yeah. I don't watch a lot of real estate stuff, and I'm not a big reader. I like more in-person stuff. So talking to people, learning about stuff in person. New venture is in the horizon, I think, for me too, of what to do in real estate. So getting in front of those people and just listening to a real estate guy talk about his real estate business.
It's awesome. Cool. Well, this has been great. I know everybody's going to get a ton of value from this episode, and
I hope so.
Thank you for coming on and sharing a little bit about your story. And where can people find you?
Facebook.
There you go. Facebook
and Zillow. I have great reviews there, and I'm all over Facebook with my business and family. So
sounds good, man. Well, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
We'll catch you guys on the next episode.